Hey y'all, in this lesson we're going to take a look at point-slope form. Last time we looked at slope-intercept form, now we're looking at point-slope form. Our essential question is, what information does the point-slope form of a linear equation reveal about a line? By the end of this lesson, we want to be able to say, I can write and graph linear equations in point-slope form. Again, we have seen how to write and graph linear equations using the slope and the y-intercept in slope-intercept form. However, the y-intercept is not always easy to see, so we need to have other ways to write and graph linear equations. Our first example is just the basic point-slope form. If I have the slope of a line and a point on that line, I use what is called point-slope form. You can write the equation of any line using any point, we call it xy, and the slope m in point-slope form. We're going to write literally y minus the number from the point for y equals m times, in parentheses, x minus the number from the x in the point. So if we have a slope of 1/2 and our point 3, -2, x1 is the 3, y1 is the -2, and our slope is 1/2. We fill in these pieces to our equation. Y minus -2 equals 1/2 times, in parentheses, x minus 3. We do one last little cleaning up. Minus a negative number is really just adding. So we change that left side to y plus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 3. Again, we identify what is x, what is y, and what is the slope, and we simply plug those in to their correct spots. In example 2, the equation of a line that passes through 2 points, -4, 1, and 2, 3. First, we're not given the slope, so we need to find the slope of the line. We do that by remembering that our slope formula is taking the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. If I call this point 1 and point 2, well, I'm going to take y from point 2 and minus y from point 1, so 3 minus 1. And I'll take the x from point 2 and minus the x from point 1, so 2 minus -4. 3 minus 1 is, there's a little step that's missing here. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 2 minus -4 is going to be 6. And 2 over 6 reduces to 1/3. So that's how they got the 1/3. Then we just pick one of our points to use. Let's pick the second point. 2, 3. x1 is 2, y1 is 3, and m is 1/3. So we have, there we go, y minus 3 equals 1/3, and then in parentheses, x minus 2. Just kind of rewriting it. Not all bolded and whatnot. Now you try. Write an equation of this line passing through 2, -1, and -3, 3. Pause the video, try it out, press play to see the answer. In this problem, we are going to get a slope that is 4 over -5. So we have a negative slope here. And then we can either write y minus 3 equals -4/5 times x plus 3. Or we can use the other point, and we would end up with y plus 1 equals still -4/5 for the slope. And in this would be x minus 2. Those are the two options using each of the 2 points. Let's look at one more example, sketching a graph from an equation in point-slope form. What is the graph of y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 times x plus 1? We have a couple steps we'll go through. First, we'll identify a point on the line from the equation. Remember, the point on the line is going to be what's subtracted from y and what's subtracted from x. So we pull those numbers out, the 3, and we're going to change this from plus 1 to minus negative 1 because we want to remember that our original formula is x minus a number. So we just change that from plus to minus, the opposite. So we have 3 and negative 1. So our point is negative 1, 3. So we'll put a point negative 1 up 3. From here, now we use the slope to plot a second point. Our slope is negative 2 over 3. Remember, that's the vertical over the horizontal. So we'll go down 2 and right 3 to get another point. In this case, that lands at 2, 1. You could continue this process, again, moving down 2 and right 3. But once you have 2 points, you can draw your line and have your graphed problem. You give it a try by graphing this equation. Y plus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 3. Pause the video now, try it out, and press play to see the answer. In this case, our first point is going to be at 3, negative 2. So over 3, down 2. And our slope is 1/2, so we want it to go up 1 and right 2 as we move over. And then we can continue it backwards, again still doing that 1 and 2 to get it to come through. So you can see here how it does not cross at a nice number, and so that's why we like the point slope form. But this is the line you should have drawn. To summarize our point-slope form, remember that the point-slope form of a linear equation is useful when you know the slope and one point. So if you don't know the y-intercept, but you know a different point. The general formula is y minus the y value from your point equals m, your slope, times x minus the x value from your point. You can see an actual example of that in the middle row, and the graph of each of those using the point and the slope from those equations. Your next steps are to submit your 5.6 notes, complete your 5.6 practice, and take your 5.6 mastery check. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.